How's everybody doing today? This is Mark Young coming back to you for another week of challenges. And first of all, I want to ask you guys how it went last week. With changing the way you think. Did it help you out a little bit? I hope it did. It helped me. I had some things I had to rethink and get my mind conditioned in other ways of thinking to help me through certain situations. All right, so with that being said, I got another challenge for you this week. All right, I've done this exercise with several people for the past couple of weeks, and I want to do it with you today. Okay? All right. You see this piece of paper? On this piece of paper, there are 9 dots. Okay? 9 dots. And what I want you to do is I want you to take your pen, pencil, whatever you use, and I want you to touch all 9 of these dots without lifting your pen or pencil or marker off of the paper. Okay? It has to be 4 straight lines. You cannot lift your pen, pencil, or marker off of the paper. Okay? Now, as you go and get a piece of paper and put down these 9 dots, get you something to write with, I'm going to talk to you about what I've seen people do with this exercise. Okay? So I would come up to somebody and I would say, okay, I want you to touch all 9 of these dots with 4 straight lines and not take your pen or pencil off of the paper. All right? So here's what most people usually end up doing. They usually end up going like this. 1, 2, 3, and 4. But we got a big problem. There's a dot in the middle that hadn't been touched. Now, the funny thing about this is most people, when they try it the first time, this is what they do. They usually draw this box with this dot not touched in the middle. Okay? And, it's funny because they'll go across here 1, 2, 3, and then their mind, they're like, I can make this happen. I can do this. I see this dot, but it's got to be a straight line. And then they mark that line up to close that box off anyways. Okay? That's pretty crazy. I'm just sitting up there and I'm thinking, surely they see that that's not going to work, but they do it anyways. Okay? Or I've seen people do it this way. I say, okay, you can't take that pen off of the paper. Okay? You have to make 4 straight lines, and those 4 straight lines have to connect and touch all these 9 dots somehow. So they'll say, okay, I got this. Then they'll go 1, and then they'll go 2. And I'm thinking, first of all, you took the pen off the paper. Okay? Second of all, you got 4 dots left. Even if you didn't take the pen off the paper, you're not going to touch all 4 of those dots. All 9 of those dots. Okay? I mean, it is funny. You see people pulling their hair out doing this. So, now that you've pulled your hair out, I'm going to show you how to do it. All right. Remember, they all have to touch. And you can't take your pen off of the paper. Okay, that's the key. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Did you see that? I went 1, 2, 3, 4. All right. Now I know those lines look a little ugly, but what did you get out of this? Okay? What did you get out of this? Let me tell you what you get out of this. Sometimes you got to think outside of the box. Sometimes you got to think outside of the box. See, first of all, I didn't tell you how to do it and what shape it had to look and what formation it had to form. I just told you I need you to take 4 lines to connect all these dots without taking your pen, pencil, or marker off of the paper. Now, how you figure out doing that, that's on you. And the object is to get you to understand that sometimes things don't fit the way that we're used to them fitting. You know, it's real funny how most people, when they first do this exercise, they always draw this box with that dot left. And what you need to realize is sometimes in life, you just got to think outside the box. You got to go against what you've been told for years. You got to say, hey, I know it's been done like that for 100 years, but I found a new way to do this. Okay? Thinking outside of the box is sometimes scary. And sometimes thinking outside of the box will get you ostracized from people. Okay? But it's people like Steve Jobs, Bill Gates, Thomas Edison, just different people like that who, Martin Luther King, who thought outside of the box. They saw things differently than a lot of people, and they were willing to take those chances. And so my challenge to you this week is, I know that you're going to be facing something. Something's going to come up in your life, or something's already there. And my challenge to you is, you got to think outside the box. You can't go back to doing things the way you used to do them. Some of you, you've been doing things the same way. And the question I want to ask you is, how's that working for you? It's probably not. Okay. And so just take the time to think outside of the box. Great innovators, that's what they do. They challenge themselves to think outside of the box, to think differently. And so that's what I want to challenge you today. If it's a situation with a coworker, if it's a relationship you're in, if it's a business adventure, I want you to think differently and take it out of the norm and just see where it goes. Because you know what'll happen? If it doesn't work, just go back to doing this. All right? This is your man, Mark Young. Okay? And I am my brother's keeper. And you know what? Peace.